Welcome to Meet Your Neighbor, the podcast that highlights the people and stories that make Westbrook Village a truly exceptional community. I'm your host, Steve Marilla, local realtor, neighbor, and proud member of this vibrant community. Each episode, we sit down with residents to learn about their careers, life experiences, and what brought them to Westbrook Village. It's a chance to connect, share, and celebrate the unique journeys that shape our neighborhood. Thanks for tuning in. And now, let's meet your neighbor. On this episode of Meet Your Neighbor, we sit down with Patty Owings, a Westbrook Village resident and former California entrepreneur who built a successful furniture company by treating employees like family and putting customers first. With a strong work ethic and a heart for the community, Patty shares her journey in business and what brought her to Westbrook Village. Enjoy the inspiring conversation with a woman who built success the right way, through integrity, service, and hard work. Now let's meet your neighbor. Hello, Patty.
Hello, Steve.
Oh, nice voice. You got that Hollywood voice, California kid.
New career.
The funny thing, when you were still working and your husband was retired, he would always say you got a second job as a greeter at Walmart. Do you remember that?
He still does.
He really thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I think he was the only one.
He still thinks it's funny.
Does he?
Yes.
All right. So we're here doing a podcast, and we're going to learn about your life. Where would you like to start? I'd like you to start in California somewhere. Okay. And where'd you grow up?
Born and raised in a city called Encino, California.
Encino? Oh,
yes.
Really? What was it like growing up there?
It was great. Yeah, it was really a fun time growing up in this world of ours, I think.
Yeah.
We were part of the San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
So a lot of people are familiar with that, even though, you know, if they've never even been to California, they've heard the Valley because the Valley Girls.
Right.
Right. So I was
were
a
you
Valley girl.
You were a Valley Girl? Did you take on the can you do a Valley Girl? Did you take on the speak?
Not really.
No.
You know, but we were, you know, I grew up in Encino. We lived in a neighborhood where everybody was Catholic. Everybody had 5 kids.
Yeah.
So at one point in time, there were probably 75 kids on our block.
Oh, wow. How much fun is that?
Those were in the days when you could let your kids go out and play and until dark or after, you know, and our parents would never even really know where we were, you know.
Yeah.
All the parents were friends, and, you know, there was a pediatrician, so that everybody went to him as the doctor. There was a dentist, everybody went to him.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a really nice way of growing up. All the parents would, like, rent a bus and go to, like, the Dodger game.
Oh, really?
For an event, and then all the kids would stay home and take care of each other, so.
Oh, that had to be really a tight-knit community.
It really was. It was a really fun one.
How many siblings do you have?
There's 5 of us.
5 of us? So, the standard 5 that you mentioned earlier. I got it.
But everybody literally had 5 kids.
Yeah. So how were you, and this is probably dumb, but were you near the ocean? Or how far was it to the ocean?
Not that far in those days without traffic.
Oh, sure.
You could literally get to the beach. You would go over, it was called the Pass. It's 405. You're familiar with it because you guys just went through that.
Never want to do that again.
The one that you probably took 5 hours to get to San Luis Obispo, right?
Yes.
So we would just get in our car and go, and so we could be at the beach in 30 minutes, easy.
Oh, really?
And we would go to Santa Monica. That's where everybody went, you know. Or we would go down to Newport Beach, and it's called the Wedge, and that was where everybody went to, like, body surf and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I think someone mentioned the Wedge when I was there. I was asking a guy about surfing. I try and fake it like I know what I'm doing.
You know what? When you guys travel, you should go there as a stop. It's
really?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really unbelievable.
So you grew up, and so did you go to high school with all these kids? Did you all go to the same school?
Not all of them. Some went to Catholic school, some went to public, and so we were kind of dispersed that way.
Yeah, it's funny how you have younger relationships, you're really tight, and then all of a sudden you go off and get new friends and do that. Yeah.
Usually high school is what does it, you know?
Yeah. Was high school pretty easy for you? You seem pretty smart.
You know what? I never really had an interest in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was your interest?
I just wanted to work.
Just work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to work.
Well, let's jump in. What was your first job?
Babysitting.
Babysitting?
Yeah.
That was my first job too.
I was a very responsible, like 11-year-old. My mom is 96 years old. She's still alive.
Oh, wow.
Still as sharp as you can be. And my mom was amazed that these people had 5 kids, youngest, like a baby. They left them all with me, and they took off and went away for like 4 days on a trip.
Really? And then,
but I was very responsible.
You must have been. I mean, that would have taken a lot of organizing. That
probably had those kids whipped into shape.
Whipped into shape, yeah. So that was your first job, babysitting.
Yeah, and I earned enough money to buy my first car, which was a VW Bug.
Oh, nice.
I think I paid $1,500 for it, an orange Bug.
An orange Bug? So you had a little cool style already back then, because to me, Volkswagen Bugs are like one of the cool vehicles.
They're iconic.
They're iconic. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that was my first job, and then my first real job was McDonald's.
Okay.
So I would had the 5 a.m. shift.
Oh, wow.
And then I would go to school. And in those days, you had a 4-4. You could choose to have a 4-4 schedule. Okay. Meaning you're 4 hours or 4 subjects on and 4 off. Okay. As long as you had a job to go to.
Right. Yeah, we did the same thing.
I went back to McDonald's in the afternoon and worked. Huh. So I just always wanted to just work and make money,
Yeah. Did you feel, I worked since I was 12. After babysitting, I picked chicken eggs, not as glamorous as McDonald's. Chicken picker, egg picker every weekend. But I felt like we didn't have a lot of money. So that was really freedom to me to have my own money and to be able to work at a young age. And that was a lot of fun.
My dad did well, but he always treated us like they didn't have any money because he wanted us to have a work ethic.
Sure.
And learn the value of a buck.
Yeah.
His thing was, if you can't pay cash, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Right?
They don't think like that anymore.
No, we would get secondhand bikes. We would never get brand new. Ever.
Oh, wow.
A lot of times we had to participate in paying for, that dentist I told you about on our block. He was terrible. Yeah. He ruined all my teeth. He drilled so far for a cavity that I literally had to have root canals by the time I was 13. I think.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, we all had to pay a little bit towards, if we had to have a crown, we had to put a little bit towards it just so
you knew.
Just so we knew the value of $1.
Yeah. And that probably is instilled in you today.
Oh, right? Yeah. It shaped me for sure.
Yeah. Did it help you when you got into business?
Yeah. It's funny. I was never an academic in school, but I could pick up things. I really didn't care for math. Yeah. But in my job, I could figure out percentages and numbers and stuff like that, margins very easily, Yeah. It's just whatever I wanted to put my mind to.
Yeah. No, I can tell that. Yeah. Before we get in, because I really want to hear about your business, but how old were you when you met Rick?
17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
And he was 30? Or how?
Are you serious?
I'm kidding.
Oh, he's going to feel so old.
17 years old.
He was an older man. He was, let's see, he was just out of high school, and I think I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 And love at first sight?
What was funny was just a group of friends. We all met at neighbors of ours, mine, and we all just kind of hung out, and then one thing led to another.
And then next thing you know, 50 years later?
Well,
how many years have you been married?
Married 48. We'll be together 52 in August.
Oh, wow.
So it's a long time.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. You guys are great together.
Oh, thanks.
So what's your first big job? You're at McDonald's.
Okay, so then from there I went to, it was a high-end store. They're still around. It's called Gelson's.
Gelson's, yeah.
And I was the first female box girl.
Oh, really? What's a box girl?
They used to bag your groceries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess they still have that at Fry's.
Yeah.
Most places you have to bag your own.
Right.
Yeah.
So you worked at the grocery store. God, these are all typical. When you think about the time, at the time you were working at McDonald's, that was a pretty cool job, to be honest with you. I always wanted to work at a fast food place just so I get some free burgers. But
yeah, exactly.
yeah. So then, where to next?
Okay, so after that, I was graduating from high school. I really didn't want to go on to college, and I was the last of 5, so my parents didn't push me too hard.
Yeah.
They just basically said, you have to do something. You can't just not go on to something.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll do dental assisting school.
Okay.
Which I did, and I went to work for a pediodontist, and he was kind of a crazy guy. He smoked cigarettes and drank coffee like nobody's business.
Sure.
And he was always like,
jittery.
And one day, I guess I didn't clean a thing, utensil that they used to clean well enough for him, and he threw it at me.
Oh.
So I said, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And I quit.
Patty ain't taking that.
No. So anyway, I did that, and then I went to like an employment company and interviewed for a job at what was called the Pacific Design Center in West Hollywood. Still there. It's called the Big Blue Whale.
Yeah.
And it was the design center of LA.
Okay.
And it was for a manufacturer, and I started out as like a receptionist.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that store a pretty big deal to get into, to get a job at? Sounds fancy.
Well, that industry?
That design center?
I just fell into it.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
that's just how everybody had their showrooms there.
Sure.
So it was like a one-stop shop. If you wanted to go see a manufacturer showroom, you went to the design center.
Oh, okay.
It was in West Hollywood. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it was beautiful.
Huh.
So I just kind of fell into it, and I could type really fast. And in those days, no computers, no nothing.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of grew from there.
Yeah. And then when did you start when did you get into the business that you ended with? How many years?
That was the business.
That was the business.
Yeah, I was in it for 50 years.
50 years. Well, you just kind of brushed over that part of it.
Yeah.
So how'd you move up through that business, and how'd you become as successful as you were?
Well, I was with that company for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then, so our industry was like the car industry. You had dealers and you had manufacturers.
Okay.
So like if you sold Cadillacs, you couldn't sell Fords.
Okay. Yeah.
So our business was like, we were, it was called Herman Miller. And you remember.
I know Herman.
You were in flooring, right?
Yeah. And Herman Miller, they have made great office chairs, right?
Everything. They actually were the first manufacturer to come out with cubicles.
Oh, wow.
If you remember those days.
Yeah. So that's who you were working with? Or as a manufacturer? They were the manufacturer and you were the...
Well, let me backtrack for a minute. The company that I was with originally was All Steel.
Yep.
That was a manufacturer.
Okay.
And then I I was there for 4 years, and then I left, and I grew up there. I was like the receptionist, and then I became customer service. So I kind of learned the industry from the ground up, like every aspect of the business.
Right.
And then from there, I went to work for a dealer.
Okay.
And they were actually a Herman Miller dealer.
Okay.
And I was with them for 17 years.
Okay.
They were wonderful people. It was like a family.
A family. Yeah. It's wonderful when you get in that. I mean, especially when you didn't know what you were after and you end up in a great place.
Yeah. It was just really like they were family people. Everything was generated around family.
Yeah.
Like most women were working moms, and they were always very sensitive to that. Like if your kid was sick or if you had to take off for whatever, they were always like, yeah, go,
Huh, that's nice.
So they really kind of laid the groundwork for me on how to run a company.
Yeah.
What you do and what you don't do. So.
Yeah, so you saw so when did you start running your own company?
Let's see. So that company, actually, they ended up closing their doors in the early 90s.
Yep.
And then from there, I went to another dealership.
Yeah.
Because everybody was clamoring, like, for to hire the people that came from that dealership that went out, because they had a lot of business to bring.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. They wanted to capture that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to work for another Herman Miller dealer, and I worked for them for 5 years.
Okay.
And then from there, I went to work for a Knoll dealer. So Knoll and Herman Miller were the two big manufacturers in our industry.
Okay.
And I went to work for a gal, Rosemary, for another 5 years.
Oh, wow. You didn't just go from job to job, but you'd stay for a while and learning something about every one of them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Rick and I by that point, we had our kids.
Yeah.
We had 2 kids. One, I was 23 and 27.
Okay.
2 kids working.
Oh, man.
And nothing was close. All my jobs were far away.
Oh, really?
So I had to commute. But in those days, they didn't have the traffic the way they do now, So it was a little different in that respect.
Yeah, I bet. Well, now you can listen to podcasts. Back then you couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And you had to drive your car back then. Now you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just let it go.
Big bonus.
All right. So now where are we? We're almost to,
okay,
almost to the big one.
Let's see. So I worked for a gal named Rosemary, and she was a very, very tough businesswoman. And I was a project manager. I was at one point the sales manager.
So what does a project manager do as a dealer?
You manage the projects from beginning to end.
So what kind of projects are there? Are you putting furniture into
whatever space needs commercial
space? Okay, so
whatever needs commercial space that needs design and furniture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a competitive business because everybody wants that.
It's very, very competitive, but I don't know what business really isn't,
Yeah, that's true.
It's all eventually it becomes referral if you do a really good job.
Right.
That's what you depend on in your career.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So she was tough to work for, very tough.
Really?
And there was a point in my career and I was I was probably in my mid to late 40s.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm either going to work for myself or I'm going to get out of this industry. Because I always worked as if it was my own company anyway.
Sure, I could see that.
That was just my work ethic.
That's your work ethic, yeah.
And I quietly put my feelers out. And I had a friend that said, I approached him and I said, would you like to be a silent partner in a dealership?
Yeah.
And he said, well, you know what? No, but just sit tight. I've got an idea. I'll get back to you.
Oh.
And he did. And he got back to me and he said, Bill, he became my business partner.
Okay.
He sold his company. He retired. He's going crazy because he was only in his early 50s.
Okay.
And he said he really wants to get back in the business and start over again.
Start something again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny how those entrepreneurs have that bug and they can't. Yeah.
And he really is.
Huh.
So he did. He bought a company that was struggling and he bought their Newport branch.
Yeah.
And it was an all steel dealer. So talk about coming full circle.
Yeah. You're back to all steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wanted the LA market, but they wouldn't let him open in the LA market.
Okay.
That industry is very territorial.
Sure.
So he bought the Newport Beach location, got it all squared away, back on its feet, etc.
Yeah.
And then he just went ahead and opened LA. He just did it. That's how he was. And
so did he open a store in LA or did he service it from your current location?
Well, he opened up the territory in LA.
Yeah. Okay.
And we didn't have a physical office.
Oh, okay.
He actually rented an office out of somebody's bigger office.
Oh, okay.
So he did that, and then when he moved into LA, he called me and he said, "Hey, do you want to get together and have lunch?" I knew Bill many, 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 many years ago through the industry, but I hadn't seen him for a long time.
Yeah.
So we had lunch, and he said, "How would you like to come work for me?" And I said, "Yeah, I would love that, with the possibility that I become part owner."
Sure.
Eventually. You know, I always believe that you have to prove yourself first, right?
Yep, I do too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind proving myself.
Yeah. So anyway, he did. He brought me in 2003. And it was just Bill, me, and a guy named Charles.
Yeah.
Then Charles quit, and it was just me and Bill. And then we did take a space in Pasadena. And in 2005, he made me partner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 2005, and then how many years did you go?
We sold the business in April of 2023.
April of 2023.
2 years ago.
Wow. Yeah. So was it tough? Did you build it up big?
We did. All Steel was there's in our industry. There are like 5 major manufacturers.
Yeah.
Knoll, Herman Miller, etc., and then All Steel being the 5th. But
okay.
They are always kind of looked down upon from the design industry.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Just because the designers very snooty.
Yeah.
Very just snooty.
Yeah.
They wanted Knoll or Herman Miller on all their projects.
Oh, okay.
Like the Ginslers of the world. They're like one of the largest design and architectural firms in the world, and they still are.
Yeah. Huh.
So we worked really hard to get the brand out there. Really, really hard. We which I always think is a good thing. We started at the bottom.
Yeah.
And we worked our way up, getting ourselves into the design firms. Then we would hire, I think our first hire was an accounting gal.
Yeah.
And then the next hire was a CAD operator. And then we just grew steady and slow.
I just kept taking market share from the other manufacturers and growing your presence.
Yeah. And we had a kind of a different strategy than most.
Yeah.
Bill was a service-disabled veteran, so we were an SDV OSB.
Okay.
And it was hard to get, and nobody else in our industry had that title. So you get advantages on public money projects.
For government projects?
Federal government, yeah.
Okay.
And all the compliance and everything was really rough, but for a long time we did benefit from that.
Huh.
And so what we did was we created a niche for ourselves. And what we did was we focused on public money.
Okay.
Because in good times and bad times, the government always has money, honey.
Right. Absolutely.
So we did local, state, county, federal. So our sectors we still had commercial.
Yeah.
The nice high-end projects.
Yep.
We did a ton of education.
Sure.
That's bond money, and all these counties, schools, etc. They have to spend their money or they lose it.
Right.
It's the craziest thing you've ever seen in your world.
Oh yeah.
And then so we did education, healthcare, commercial, and government. Those were our 4 sectors.
Okay.
But I'd say we were probably 70% weighted in public sector.
Sure. Did you do a lot of the sales and presentations, and you put the projects together just like you learned over the years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that had to be a lot of details.
Oh, it's a detailed business like you wouldn't believe. I mean, if you're off 6 inches in our business, it could create a big problem.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any that went completely wrong because you mismeasured?
Oh, yeah. All the time. I don't even think there was a project that ever went out
right?
of problem. Our industry was a problem-based industry. Ask anybody, because it was so vulnerable to human error.
Yeah.
In the beginning, everything was manual.
Right.
And then we went into like computer-aided design, but their mistakes are made there too.
Right.
So
well, they're still humans. They're still inputting numbers into those computers.
Yeah.
So and you also have someone, they're giving you dimensions of a room that's not built yet, and when it's built, if it's a couple inches off, you were probably scrambling.
Always. But we had some really good procedures in place, like with what you have to do. Like if it's not built and you're laying out from a CAD plan, you better go back and measure and make sure it matches.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things.
So when we first met, you were still heavy into the business and you were really loving it. And I was a little concerned about retiring for you because you love to work. How are you doing with retirement now?
Great.
Are you how are you filling your time?
You know what? It's nice not having to get up with an alarm clock, which I love.
Yeah.
And just what do? You know what? I get up, I go to the gym. I love playing cards. I love cards. I never did.
Did you always love cards before? Because that seems new.
When we were young, my dad played poker. Okay. And he taught us all how to play poker, blackjack. I mean, we were really good card players. If we went to Vegas, we could play. Okay. Wow. Nice. Correctly.
I did not know that about you. Play the correct odds on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So I never, and it was fun, but I never realized that I would enjoy play. And I picked up Mahjong as well, and I really like that too.
Kirsten said she wants to learn to play, but
I told her.
You got to have time.
Yeah, but you know what? She can learn.
Yeah. So, what brought you to Westbrook? How did you end up wanting to live in Westbrook?
Well, my sister Barb and Ed, who you interviewed, you know them well. Your in-laws were smushed in between the two of us.
Yeah.
They moved here in 2020.
Okay.
And we came over to visit them and met Diane and Loris and Loretta and Jim, all the fun people.
All the cool kids.
Yeah. People tootling around on their golf carts and everything. Yeah. And I said to Rick, you know what? I could get used to this. Yeah. And at that point we were getting very tired of California.
Sure. Traffic, people, everything. Yeah.
Everything was just we just weren't loving, it was our state. We were born and raised there, and it was just sad to see the way things were going. So I was still working, and at that point, Bill and I had no plans. We would talk about selling the business eventually, but we didn't have any concrete plans.
Right.
And so I talked to Bill and I said, look, if Rick and I decide to move to Arizona, are you okay with that? I'll commute, And he said, you go do whatever you need to do, Right. He was like he still is like my brother.
Yeah.
We're very close. So we did. We moved in April of 21.
April 21.
And so I commuted for two plus years, every other week.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy watching you have to go get on that plane and then the traffic to the office and on the other end.
Yeah, that's what kind of wore me down in the business. That it was pretty exhausting, but it was nice. I was able to stay with my mom, and it gave me time to be with her and stuff. Yeah. But just the overall commute and everything, and then it just so happened that our manufacturer knew, that Bill's 8 years older than me, and they didn't see any succession plan with any of our family.
Right.
Our kids were like, nah, that's the last business I want to be in, because they saw how hard we worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you would work on a project until it was done, and it could be 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So they kind of put us together with the buyer of our company. It was another dealer, but they were mainly in Orange County.
Yeah.
They would try to get into the LA market. It was very hard. It might as well be two different states, Orange County and LA.
Yeah.
So the negotiations took a year.
Okay.
And that was pretty exhausting as well.
Oh, I bet.
Because we couldn't let anybody know.
Oh,
So it was all the stuff you have to pull together for a sale is incredible.
Yeah. And then the whole time not let any employees know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you don't want anybody to leave.
Yeah. And you don't want to lose anybody in your, any clients. Yeah.
Plus, we had such great employees. Mm-hmm. We had, at the peak, we had 20. And when we sold, we had 16. Huh. And they were all with us for a long, long time. And that was one of the most important things in the negotiations were our employees, to make sure that they were well taken care of.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you I feel like you probably ran that company like the company that you felt it as part of the family.
Well, that was when I was talking about the people that we worked with for 17 years.
Yeah.
they were such a great example of how you treat your employees.
Yeah.
And Bill and I always treated our employees really, really well because you know what? They're the ones that make the business.
They're on the front line. Yeah. They don't make they don't make the big bucks. They make their daily salary and they do a good job for you and they help you build something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if they didn't work out, then they didn't work out,
Yeah.
But I always used to say, you can make as much money as you want. It just depends on how hard you want to work.
Yep.
But if you're going to take off and go play golf at 3:00 in the afternoon, that means...
Are you yelling at me about that? No.
Yes. Don't come complain to me that you're not making enough money.
Yeah. I'm not selling enough houses because I'm playing too much golf.
Yeah. That's part of your business, though.
Yeah, sure. You give me a break. You wouldn't give yourself a break.
Yeah. Socializing,
Guess what? 30 minutes just went by.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was fast.
I got a question for you though.
Yes.
Just for what is there one favorite thing that you like about Westbrook? Just to get a little Westbrook in here.
Well, I think that there's something for everyone to do. I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so many of my friends do pottery, others do glass. Pickleball, as you know, is so popular.
Yeah.
Rick rides his bike every single day, and the bike trails are incredible.
Yes.
That's one thing we never had in California. There's just something for everybody to do. The gym, they're all my friends at the gym, and
well, you have friends in every group. I mean, it's just people living together with something in common. I think.
Exactly. And if people don't want to do anything, then they don't do anything.
Right.
But you certainly have a lot of opportunity to meet people and do things. So
I agree.
I love the 55 and older living.
Yeah, I do too. I love it. Well, that's it for us. And I really appreciate you coming in and telling me your story. I love hearing your story. I like hearing how people went through their life and what they did for a career. And
well, thanks.
I still picture you. I still go back to the beginning of the podcast and picturing you as a little girl with all 75 other neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it was a great childhood. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to the Meet Your Neighbor podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to share this podcast with your friends and fellow neighbors. Until next time, take care and keep connecting.